Glaciers and glacial ice patches act as exceptional keepers of time, being one of the few natural conditions that are capable of nearly perfectly preserving even the most delicate artifacts. And those artifacts will be exactly what we look at within this video. From a Viking sword that was unusually out of place, to an ancient lunchbox that still held its contents. So, let us begin. The first artifact within this video is the 1100-year-old Viking sword dating between 850 and 950 AD. The sword was discovered in Oppland County, Norway, at the summit of a mountain at an impressive altitude of over 1600 meters, or around 5,250 feet. This phenomenally preserved sword is not just unique for its preservation, but also the archaeological context in which it was found, not only at a high point, but with no nearby burials or artifacts, conveying that the owner of the sword, and the sword itself, may have been lost during a blizzard. The next artifact is an Iron Age sandal. Found within the Horse Ice Patch in Norway, the sandal is around 1700 years old, from about 300 AD. The sandal itself is very similar to Roman sandals of the era, and its archaeological context suggests that the location was likely an ancient trade route and would have been consistently traveled throughout numerous years. Likewise, this ice patch in specific has revealed numerous other artifacts and even cairns which display possible routes of passage. The next artifact is a Viking Age mitten. This left-handed mitt was found in the Lenbreen ice patch over the Lomsegen mountain range near the village of Lom in central Norway. The mitt itself is from around 900 to 1000 AD and is very well preserved, being found in an area dense with other textiles and artifacts, which actually connects to the following. Found at the same site is a fully intact Iron Age tunic. This tunic, despite its unusual condition, is actually much older than the mitten, dating to around 300 AD, being over 1700 years old. After being discovered, the tunic took a considerable amount of labor to unravel, but once it was determined to be intact, the find became one of significant historical importance. The next artifacts come from the Bernese Alps in Switzerland, which is where several arrows, a wooden bow, and a lunge kit were found. The artifacts were found at a height of nearly 8,800 feet, or 2,700 meters, and were located in what is believed to be a rock shelter amongst glaciers. The artifacts themselves are from the Bronze Age and are over 4,000 years old. And if you are wondering what was in the lunchbox, it was ground flour consisting of wheat, barley, rye, and smelt, and likely would have been mixed with water. The following artifacts is a set of Iron Age skis. Well, a set of skis now. The skis were actually found 7 years apart from one another, despite being only a few meters away. The wooden skis are both very well preserved, even maintaining their bindings. The latter find was actually 16 feet deeper than the first, likely due to shifting ice, with the skis themselves being around 6 feet in length and roughly 1,300 years old. The next artifact is a Viking Age distaff, also from the Lenbreen Pass. This distaff is ornately designed and is very well preserved, with ordinary use objects like this not usually being found in such contexts or condition. A distaff is used to hold wool while it is being spun. The following artifact is also a staff, but in this case, a walking staff from the medieval ages. Also found at the Lenbreen Pass, this walking stick is roughly 1,000 years old, and as you have likely seen, it is actually inscribed. The inscription is in runes in states owned by Yor. Pretty fascinating, and it really makes you wonder who exactly he was and why he was crossing the pass. The stake is now within the University of Oslo's Natural History Museum. The next item, found at, you guessed it, the Lenbreen Pass, is a Viking spear. Also in the Oslo Natural History Museum, the spearhead, which was found alongside its wooden shaft, dates between 825 and 950 AD, and is so well preserved that it was actually just picked up and carried down the mountain by the individual who discovered it. The spear itself once measured over 7 feet in length, and was likely used for military means or reindeer hunting some 1100 years ago. And now, for the conclusive item of the video, an Iron Age horseshoe. Found at last, the Lenbreen Pass, this shoe is from the 3rd century AD, and likely belonged to one of the first animals to ever cross the pass. The shoe is very well preserved with both the wood and rope intact. And that will conclude the video. If you enjoyed, consider liking, subscribing for future content, and I will see you next video.